I just felt you held me down. The person that I trusted the most, you were there. You ignored me that day. My legs were yanked apart. My clitoris was ripped. I saw my blood everywhere. I saw my flesh being thrown like a piece of, rotten meat or something. I screamed for you, and you ignored my screams. How did you do that? 2 million women and girls have been cut. In UK alone, 130,000 women and girls are victims of FGM.
It feels slightly weird having someone take a picture of my boobs, but I'm getting over it.
I grew up with rage. I grew up with rage thinking, why? But then I became a mother and I realized why. Because my mother grew up in an environment, in a community where that is normal.
One day we will walk without fear. We are the granddaughters of the witches they could not burn.
I was 7 the first time I realised a difference between the boys from my neighbourhood and relatives and myself. I had to wear a big scarf and a long uniform and watch the boys dressed in their regular, comfortable clothes for school. And in spite of my young body, hold the fast through the entire Ramadan and bear the starvation from sunrise to sundown. I watched the boys of the same age playing around, and I used to ask myself why they can skip the fasting and praying until the age of 16, in spite of their stronger bodies. But the answer was always the same. God loves women more, and it's how he commands. And there was some time that I wished to pass through a rainbow and, according to the tales, become a boy. At the age of 12, I got my first period and wasn't allowed to pray or even go to religious places. And I used to feel that I am so foul that God doesn't even want to hear my voice. At 23, I married a poet, a man who didn't have any religious beliefs. I hoped that I could be released from the world of boundaries and limitations with him. But I didn't know that he would reject limitations only about himself. My connection to the world was completely cut off by him. When I was 27, I finally got divorced. My husband denied that my children were from our marriage and accused me of adultery. The slanderous accusation of adultery causes shame and isolation for women and often leads to social deprivation, imprisonment, or even stoning to death. I was the first woman who fought an adultery accusation through the Afghan legal system. My ex-husband was sentenced for 2 years in prison, while if I had not been able to disprove the accusation, I would have been sentenced to 15 years in prison. He remained an honourable poet, and he still writes about love. And I still think about my childhood friends, to the faraway and sweet years when there wasn't as much distance between our worlds as it is today. To the times that I could run in the streets and feel the wind in my hair, the times that I could laugh loudly and stand shoulder to shoulder with the boys. To the times that my sexuality was not my prison yet, but I wish with all my heart that the gods stop their special care for women and love them less and let them grow. With love, a 37-year-old child from Afghanistan.
My daughters, oh my goodness. I look at them and I know they escaped what I live through every day, and I look at them and I'm thinking, yes, yes, Mighty Woman, you've done something right. Be the brave, bold human being who gets involved.